No intro this week. Frank is running a little late, and Missy is not feeling well. Hopefully she feels better here soon. But welcome, Indy ISCP fans, here on an improvised Indy SportsCar podcast live. We got Josh Farmer here, and the awesome Andretti Autosport Indy Lights driver Robert Megennis, aka Bobo, to me and
Where'd
Frank.
that come from?
Well, we call him Bobo just because, see, and I remember there was a time last year when you thought my name was Josh. And so it was like, well, if he's going to call me wrong, I'll just call him Bobo or something. And it's kind of been a joke between me and Frank. But you're an awesome guy. We appreciate you coming on with us.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Wrong guy.
Well, now I'm confused because now there's a Josh
Yeah, I know. Now
and
there's a
who I
real
thought was
Josh.
Josh for like multiple years.
And as far as I
Oh
know,
no,
there's
thanks.
no other Jareds I've seen anywhere in the paddock. So at least I have that going for me. That
That's
I
true. You're
know
one of
of.
a kind.
There's got to be at least one other somewhere, but
We'll think of one. We'll think of one.
we'll find one.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah, it was most unfortunate that Indy Lights was put off for the year. I mean, it's understandable with all the IndyCar doubleheaders and the all the USF 2000 and Indy Pro. It was hard to kind of squeeze you guys in there, but we know you'll be back in the future, and kind of hoping you had some plans for something this year that you've got going on.
Yeah, I mean, first off, yeah, I totally understand why Lights was delayed till next year. Like that decision makes a lot of sense, and just looking at it, I'm actually really excited. Hopefully we can put together another Lights program for next year. And I think Indy Lights is going to be great next year. I think it's going to be really fun, and there's going to be a lot of good stuff happening, and uh, more than 10 cars is what I'm predicting. And then for this year, there's really nothing. I don't have anything going on right now. I'm really trying to just find seats wherever I can, whether that be in sports cars like IMSA or SRO, whether that be an open wheel, like Indy Pro, USF, FR Americas, wherever I can figure out where to drive, I'll be happy to show up and wheel. But nothing really confirmed yet. Still trying to figure it out.
Well, at least they have iRacing and other forms of entertainment to at least keep you kind of mentally there, if not all of it.
For sure, for sure. And our local go kart track just opened up last week, so I've already been up testing. I'm gonna go up again tomorrow, and then I think I have my first real race of the 2020 season in a New York club race on Sunday.
Awesome. It sounds like
Yeah,
it's good to see everything reopening and some sense of normalcy returning.
for sure, for sure. And then I'll obviously be out at some IndyCar events. Come see you guys, come hang out. So it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we're hoping that they'll open up the Indy Grand Prix, the NASCAR doubleheader weekend, at least open that up to the media. I haven't seen anything on that front or heard anything, but Josh would probably know more than I do.
Honestly, I think the situation's still up in the air. Road America, with they're saying Road America is going to be let her rip. I could see there being a better likelihood there, and Iowa. Well, with Iowa's announcement that they're going to allow fans for both races, which we'll probably get to more on that a little bit later. They might. It depends on if they have the facilities squared off in the skybox, because Iowa's got a few suites. Because they said the infield will be limited to essential race personnel only, which the
Right
media
in the
centers
middle.
in the infield. But there could be ways to do it, but those decisions are kind of out of our hands at this point.
Yeah, Iowa's always been, and I've always been on the record as saying that outside of Indy, Iowa's my favorite oval. And I know, Robert, you've done a handful of ovals, you can attest to just how much fun Iowa is to drive, if not just for the fact of how intense it is, and like you're going so fast over such a short distance, but the banking just lets you can let it rip.
Right. No, Iowa's definitely a lot of fun. I wish I could have gotten to drive there in a lights car. I was only able to drive Iowa in a US 50,000 car, so it was a little slower. And then we could not figure the setup for that racetrack. So I just remember spending 3 whole days at Iowa with just bucket loads of understeer for every single session. So personally, I'm a big fan of obviously the speedway, right? The speedway in a lights car is something else. You're going so fast. The racing's intense, right? I mean, every single Freedom 100 comes down to inches. But I also really like Gateway as a track. I would probably pick Gateway over Iowa if I had to pick one, because you have the 1 and 2, which is pretty banked and is pretty fast, but you still have to slow up a little bit. You can brake, you can lift, and then 3 and 4 is just so fast. I really enjoy racing at Gateway.
It is definitely a great track, and I was something glad to see it come back here in recent years. Yeah, it was really sad to see Richmond go. I was really hoping that would have been a great opportunity for Lights and some of the smaller cars to get some more oval experience. I know Lucas Oil Raceway has always been, like, really for a number of years about the only oval that the lower levels USF 2000 Indy Pro really had until Iowa a little bit, and now Gateway. And there's always been rumors, people saying other tracks want to come back. New Hampshire would be great, especially with the road course that goes up and out of the track and stuff. That'd be a great weekend just to have everything on the plate for one awesome weekend, but no rain.
No rain. That would be awesome. That would be a cool double header, right? You do one day on the road course and the next day on the oval. I think that would be really fun at a place like New Hampshire.
Well, and it's something that, like, if everything goes well with Road America, because the way it's scheduled now, Thursday and Friday is all USF 2000 Indy Pro, they'll be done by Friday and out of there just because of how jam-packed the weekend is. And that could be a model going forward where you have one of these, a track like that, where you can turn it around to a different configuration or something else and accommodate all the different series and have some sort of variety in the track.
For sure, for sure. But as someone who's raced in USF and Indy Pro, it is fun, showing up on Sunday on IndyCar race day and being able to, race around a place like St. Pete or Indy with all those fans. That's always really fun too. So you need to find a balance there, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I was trying to think. You're still waiting on Frank. I know he's watching here. I see him here in the chat, wondering where he is.
He's on his way. You know what?
He's stuck in traffic, where it takes 12 minutes to go 2 miles, if that.
Oh, and probably through a toll booth if he's on the Jersey Turnpike.
Oh, yeah, New Jersey is not a great state, but then again, Robert, you're from New York, so it's not much better.
Hey, I stay out of Jersey. I'm not going all the way down there.
Well, good. I don't have to speak slower. I'll have to speak slower when Frank gets here.
I speak so fast coming through New York. That's it's been something I've had to tone down because I used to only know New York people. Then all of a sudden I go to these races and people start interviewing me and I'm speaking at like 1,000,000 miles an hour. No one can understand me.
Yeah. I haven't spent a whole lot of time in New York City, but I went in that area, but I don't recommend that area for anybody.
I love it. I personally love it. There aren't enough racetracks around there, obviously, but I love being able to have everything so close. I love all the people. I was thinking about that the other day. It's like, man, I miss walking out of my building and like getting yelled at by some homeless guy, and it's everything being sticky and smelling bad, and people walking into each other. I miss it. I miss it so much.
Yeah, it's weird. You watch any, like, I watch CNBC in the morning. They sometimes will show Times Square, and it's a ghost town. And it's like, I can't believe it. Just a few months ago, it was people trying to bust through the glass to get into Good Morning America, and now it's a ghost town.
It's wild. I was down there a few weeks ago. I walked down to see what it was like, and I have some photos that I'll put on social media later. But I mean, there was probably 30 people in Times Square, like just
Jeez.
hanging out, and then it's it's so unique, and it kind of made me happy that people are actually, staying inside and taking it seriously. But then you go to Central Park, and there's thousands of people like 6 inches apart. So
Yeah, they find space where they can. And
very true.
sadly, that instead of being on the streets, that they all go to one area and then it's packed.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I do believe. So do you have a brother, George Megennis,
I
that
do.
I was chatting with a couple weeks ago? While I was watching you do some incredible iRacing. That was an absolutely like that week 13 ridiculousness where they had just three different classes of speed. And just to see you in that Formula One car just ripping around I remember you spun out at one point and you made light contact. It didn't really do anything, but then you just kept going and somehow still won the race from like fifth or something. Spun out, almost got destroyed millions of times by slower traffic. It was impressive to watch. Is that how
I
you hone your skills for real life?
For sure, because when we show up and we have lights again next year, I'm gonna feel like I'm in a Formula One car and they're all in MX5 Cup cars because we're just gonna be that fast. But no, I just I'd done so much iRacing like week after week after week, and I was taking it so seriously, and I was training and testing. It was so nice to have week 13 come up where I could just show up and just screw around. I mean, it was just so much fun to just switch it up a little bit and go out there and be in an F1 car and be dive bombing MX5s and radicals and not having to test, just showing up 2 minutes before the race and doing practice. It's so much fun. So much fun. iRacing's definitely kept me sane through this period.
Yeah, because it seems like everybody has their kind of niche. Like Connor Daly will go like play Call of Duty and then turn around and do iRacing. Joseph Newgarden's been big on Forza. I don't know why, but there's
What's wrong with Forza?
it's an Xbox product. It requires you to have an Xbox. PlayStation's where it's at, if anything. But I mean, it's all PC. PC's where it's at. If you can get components to build a quality PC nowadays.
That's true. It's tough. It's tough to get anything these days. I ordered a new direct drive for my sim in April, and they say it'll be here mid-July.
Oh, jeez.
You still had to
And
pay for it up front.
obviously, yeah, because that makes so much sense to have paid for something I'm not going to have for 3 months.
Exactly. I paid for something that I'm not going to get for months, but I'm looking forward to that one.
All right.
It's a teaser for something that's coming down the pipeline in the future here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do
All right.
I kind of want to know now. I'm kind of curious.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I can spoil it. You know how the IndyCar had the back on track auctions?
Yeah.
I won an auction for the Dallara simulator experience. So I'll
No
get to go
way.
spend half a day at the Dallara simulator with Connor Daly as my coach.
That's
Oh.
awesome.
So yeah, that I am definitely looking forward to. It's just a matter of finding a time to do it. And then I'm going to find a way to kind of record it and turn it into a podcast or some sort of content out of it. because that
That's,
when I saw that, I'm like, that is one thing that would be insane to do. And like to thank our government for all sorts of stimulus that has allowed me to give back, give and receive.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm I'd love to give that Dolores simulator a try. Like I've always seen photos of it. It looks really cool. But do you get a whole day? Do you get half a
They said
day?
it was
Like,
a half day, so I'm assuming it's probably like 4 hours or something. Either way, though, it's
well, if it
just
was a
getting to
test
sit in
day,
there. Yeah.
you could go from if it's half a day, you could go from like 12 p.m. to like 5 p.m.
Yeah, they
and
wanted
make
to do it
stuff
like
done.
first thing in the morning, so I'd have to like drive down there and stay the night beforehand because it's about 4.5 hour drive for me down to Indy. But that's nothing.
You're the guy who won it. You should be able to decide if you go in the morning or the afternoon.
I mean, it's yeah, but when you're dealing with Delara, I'm not gonna fight that battle too hard.
I think you should. I think you should go right at them.
Well, good. Yeah, I'm gonna go all the way to Italy and start complaining.
Oh man. Awesome. Sorry, I've been looking down at my phone a bunch. I decided today that I was going to join TikTok.
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
You jumped on that bandwagon.
I don't know if you guys are on TikTok. I feel like my maturity has gone down like 10 years from 20 to 10 years old. Um, I don't know. Are either of you guys on TikTok?
Can't say that
I
I
am
am.
not.
Shoot. It's an experience. I just put up my first video. I put on Instagram and it definitely I didn't want to get another social media because there are already so many. But it is pretty funny. Like, I won't lie.
Wow. Well, I don't know if I'm able to get a I don't know if TikTok is on computer or not, or if it's only on the phone. I don't know anything. I'm a lot older than you are. You're a young kid still, so we old people, we just don't get it.
Oh,
You don't
yeah.
get TikTok?
I mean, I get it, but I don't get it.
I'll send you some funny TikTok videos and you'll get it with air quotes.
I mean, one of my buddies posts like TikTok videos all the time in our Facebook group chat, and so I don't ever really look at them because I don't know. But let me see what I can find. Anyway.
And I decided to join TikTok today because today is actually National Panic Day, in case you were wondering.
National Panic Day.
Oh, I thought
National
that.
Panic Day.
I thought that's been going on for 2 months.
It's been going on since Jan 1. But I just felt like,
there he is.
you know what, it's National Panic Day. And, oh my God, it's Frank.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh,
Rob,
and
how are you?
good.
John?
You made it, and you sound good.
Oh, I always sound good.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, good. I can take the earphones out so I can monitor everything Jared's saying.
Well, you
Gotta
mean,
talk slow for me, do you, Jared?
yeah.
well,
Well,
we were just talking about that.
yeah. We
Yeah.
will have to talk slower for
heard it
Frank. You're
on my
from
way home.
Jersey. What do you expect?
Well, I was in a freaking hot attic. You know what happens when you're in a hot attic? You don't check your phone to see what time it is until you're late. I jump off for a sec. What do you have to do? Take a bathroom break, Josh? Is that what that said?
Maybe.
Yeah. Dude, go. You are not needed anymore. Shoo. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, I'm joking with you,
Yeah.
Josh. Yeah, do what you gotta do.
All
So, Robert, how have you been, buddy? Sorry I was a little bit late to the party, but Josh has come to the rescue of Missy being sick and me being me, so me being late. But you know. Um, so Missy said sorry she couldn't make it, and she wanted to say hi to you, but she just wanted to say that, she was gutted for you when she found out about that the season was, you know, but she wanted to say hi and all that good stuff, and that she missed you guys.
Well, I hope he feels better.
He may not
I
have
miss
heard
her.
the
It's
news.
not the same. Oh my god, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yep.
I'm happy for you guys.
I mean,
That's great.
let's just say his batting average is like a .005 or something like that, maybe. But at some point, you'll actually make contact and hit the ball. And
Dude, even Jamie Moyer bunted a single out once. I saw it. And if you know, late teens baseball, you know that reference. And then Philly. Yeah, it's anybody who saw that Philly run where they went 07 wild card, 08 World Series, and then 09 got spanked by the Yankees in the World Series. Because they spent more in pitching than we did, which I couldn't believe was possible. But yeah, Jamie Moyer was this like old 50-year-old, just did he throw a knuckleball? I don't know. His fastball like ranged in the mid 70s. It was just he was like one of those like pitching coaches that took the mound kind of thing. If you could get 4 innings out of him, that was and still have like the lead or maybe down a run. We had such a powerhouse lineup, it didn't matter, so it was good enough. And you see this old man, and he would bunt every time, never swung the bat, and he legged out a single once, and it looked like it was painful to watch, but he got one. So
he got one. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and I don't know why that story came up or where that even connects, because I totally forgot. But yeah, so Jamie Moyer, there's a blast from the past of Phillies fans that. So that limits to about 3% of the listening audience.
And you might not even get a season.
I don't care about baseball. I
don't care about baseball either. To the extent of the great Steinbrenner family.
Oh well, of course. I mean, yeah. Jared, I mean, you going for something?
Yeah, I mean, it's a baseball link. It's about the only baseball
hey, you were
link.
trash talking New York. I'm a real Yankees fan out here.
Are you a real Yankees fan? So do you remember the 09 World Series where you just wiped the floor with the Phillies?
I don't, because I've watched one game of baseball in my entire life.
Live or on TV?
Live. And on TV.
So you got both worlds of this is boring as hell. Okay, I got you. But
pretty much.
But at least live they have hot dogs.
They have hot dogs. I got a chicken bucket. It's a good time.
I mean, yeah. Like fried chicken or like a one big chicken in a bucket.
I got like a rotisserie chicken.
I brought
it with me and I sat down.
Well, yeah.
That is next Phillies game I go to. I'm buying a roaster on my way to the park.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was stuck growing up in SoCal. I was a connoisseur of Dodger dogs.
Oh God.
Those big foot long suckers.
Yeah, in Philly they call them beef franks. Not making that up.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with a beef frank joke here, and I'm failing on the fly.
Or there's just so many to pick from. You just it's like, oh my God, all my shirts are just great looking. I don't know which one, because they're all just, you can go with anything right now. It'll be funny. Or I mean, it would have been, Jared. You missed a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, I feel I could have came up with something if I had your name and beef. I mean, come on, Robert, right? I mean, 3 seconds, he would have been destroyed. I would have got him so good.
Go on now.
Nice. You're getting better with the chips there, Jared.
I'm getting better.
Yeah, Robert's like, I don't know what that was.
I'm just here for the ride.
Oh yeah, it's ISCP. You know, you kind of know the system by now. It's, you know, we're gonna have some good laughs. We're gonna talk some good racing, and you know, Robert's one of the best driver guests we could possibly have on. Because if you want personality and talented driver, it's Robert Megennis. His first name that comes to my mind. You know, I mean after willpower, of course, but don't take that personal, Robert. But you're in good company.
Exactly. Like there are worse people to be up there with.
Yeah, like guys, Charlie Kimball, you know, Colton Herta. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, not I didn't say that.
We're talking about people with personality.
No, I know. I remember the Steinbrenner connection there. Just when you think copacetic, you know. Remember where he's at and all, and somehow, I, you know, hey, you know, I don't pretend to know that I know the economics of racing and how everything interweaves into each other. But hey, you know what? Just error on the side of caution, I say. Because whenever some cheddar comes from the chipper, you want to make sure that the cheddar comes for the chipper, right, Robert?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cut that part out.
There you go. And what's funny is all three of us know exactly what I'm talking about, except for Robert. I feel bad because I'm alien you, but you know, it's a funny comedian that does a radio show in your town, Robert, in your town, in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Oh, my town. There's such a small town. I should know.
Well, I mean, so many things are headquartered. So many big radio shows are anchored, based out of, you know, the biggest city there is.
You know what? I've been thinking about it for 7 years now, or 8 years, or however many years I was stealing Sirius up until last year. I actually had to pay for it.
Ooh.
I mean, ever since I've had Sirius for 8 years. You know, the IndyCar channel has been on there for 8 years, and they only use it for how many hours a year, tops? Like just
Not
once
too
a
many.
race, whenever there is a race. So, and all that other time, it's just, you know, repeating commercials for Sirius XM that just repeats on all those other channels that are just place marked for things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I've always been of the mind of just to, you know, drive into New York City and try to find whoever programs that channel and say, hey, you know, I am content for days over here. I mean, come on now, look at this face. This is content for, and this is radio face here. So I have a lot of things going for you.
That was the number one complaint we got when we switched to the video format is, do I really have to look at Frank's face?
Well,
Oh, jeez.
Well, it's a good thing I was getting used to it with way off topic for the last couple months, so I'm not that gun shy about the whole streaming live thing. But now it's to the point where it's like, if you don't find this face highly attractive, then there's something wrong with you. I say, right? I mean,
I guess there's something wrong with me.
well, if you find me somewhat unattractive, then that means you could find me attractive.
Hey,
Jared.
at least one person found you attractive, and that's all that matters. You got that. You got that locked up for life now, or at least 18 years.
It was such a backhanded way of calling you a certain something, but hey, but not there's anything wrong with that.
I know.
I look at you and I see that's a normal dude right there. Don't really know if you're good looking or not, but I mean your girl's good looking, so you, I guess, and that means I'm a 9. So hey, and I know that's a lie. No, I'm kidding. Because, you know, enough people on social media tell me so. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, no, no. The number one thing that has been DM'd to me over the last 5 years is, how did you get her?
I believe that one.
And, you know, so it's average. You know, it's the truth.
That's only a compliment. You can only look at that as a compliment, right?
Well, I mean, and I tell them every time, if it wasn't my money or my looks, bang, 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 bang. You know, so, I mean, it really, that's the only comeback I've actually come up with that makes me laugh. makes everybody go, are you talking about your? Yes, you are, aren't you? Yeah, I'm like, yep, that's yep. Now you had to ask, and now you have that mental image. So yeah, whose fault was it to ask or say that? Hmm? Anyway, I mean, I've been asking myself for 19 years now how she could stand me, and apparently, I still don't have an answer. To be honest with you, I can't stand myself. You know. So, Robert, Jared was getting into talk. I don't mean to jump in here and just kind of take over since I was listening and I was late. So, I don't mean to cut you guys off on what you were talking about. But Jared, you were saying something about now you did win the auction, right? And Robert, you said you haven't been in the Delara sim yet.
I haven't. I haven't even been in the factory. I need to check it out.
Really? I mean, I mean, doesn't doesn't the Delara sim have the IL-15 in it?
I would assume so, but I've never tried it. I've never.
Well,
I feel like I'd rather go drive an actual race car than be on the sim, and it's a big sim. It's a big production.
that's true. I mean, do you think like at this point, since you've been racing, the IL-15, a matter of, would this been your second season or your?
This would have been my second year.
Right, yes. I mean, it's not like you're not a stranger to it, obviously. So you think going into the sim might, like, you're almost thinking it might be counterproductive?
Yeah, I think so. I think the only reason I would go on the sim would be to work with, the team and work with our communication, work with, trying to make the race car better. But I think trying to drive the actual Indy Lights car and learn about that, I think it might be a little counterproductive because it's never going to be exactly the same, right? There's always going to be little discrepancies here and there. But the thing that I've gotten the most out of sim racing has been racing against other people, has been working on my racecraft, my decision making.
Okay, all right. So that and who have you been? Well, like what steps have you been taking to correct that? Like, have you been working with anybody?
As far as working on my racecraft,
Yeah.
and so not really. I mean, I don't feel like there's any issue with my racecraft. I feel like I'm actually that's one of my strengths as a driver.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have heard you differently.
Yeah.
I thought I heard if there's any reason to go there was to work on my weaknesses instead of strengths. I'm sorry.
No, of course. And it's almost like I wouldn't go there because I can't work on my racecraft there, right? You can only I really do that on iRacing, and I've been working with my my engineer Joe D'Agostino from Indy Lights. I've been working with some other drivers and just trying to put myself in as many racing situations as I can, right? And that can only help.
Right on. Okay.
Have you found, is there anything
So,
in particular on iRacing you prefer to race over others?
I actually really like the new Pro Mazda car, the PM18. Sorry, not Pro Mazda, Indy Pro 2000. My bad. The PM18 that just came out.
yes.
C'est
magnifique. I mean, honestly, that car needed an update so bad.
Yeah. The old car was hard to drive. And the old car was very realistic. That's very much how it drives in real life. As terrifying as that is.
You mean the old Pro Mazda car was very realistic to what the old Pro Mazda in iRacing drive like, or?
Yes.
Okay. So it was almost like so basically driving on ice.
Yeah, pretty much. It was driving on ice, but it turns in really well on ice.
Somehow, as long as you get it right. But if you get it wrong, boy, will you find out real quick, because you'll go around this way or that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the new PM18 is really fun, and I had a lot of fun over the break. I was racing in the Elite Racing League, and they would host these IndyCar races, and it was this really fun group of drivers from IndyCar guys, Road to Indy guys. I was out there racing with Ron Capps. I mean, it was just the craziest group of people. It was It was so much fun.
Yeah, I think I met the main guy that runs the Elite IndyCar League there at Iowa last year. He was there, and Marty Davis is a part of it, I think. Am I thinking of the same league, Jared? I
Yeah,
think Marty and all them, they're kind of like the.
yeah.
I want to
Isn't that
say,
like the Lionheart League?
oh, never mind. I'm thinking of Lionheart, but yeah, aren't they the same? One and the same? Like, don't they do both? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Never mind. Is Sage Karam part of your league? Yes.
Yeah, Sage Karam did some races. I think
Oh,
Stefan Wilson helped set up a lot of them. He helped engineer the car, and he was a big part in it.
oh, cool, cool.
Well, good. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to get a hold of Stefan to come engineer my car.
Yeah. Is there any track that you haven't raced at in real life that you've raced on iRacing that's kind of your jam?
The Nürburgring, the Nordschleife.
Yeah.
I love it. I need to drive that track at some point in my life. It's so much fun. I did the 24 hours of Nürburgring, and we didn't end up finishing, but it was just every lap of that track is fun. It never gets old.
How many minutes did it take for one lap?
It was shoot. I don't even remember. I think it was.
14.
I want to say around 14.
Yeah.
How do you learn a
But
track like that?
What is it, like
Are you able to
140?
memorize all the turns, or do
Who?
you just kind of have to read it like sight reading?
Time out, sir. Who hasn't had this track embedded into their minds since PG Project Gotham Racing 2? Come on.
Oh, well,
I mean, am I the only one? I get.
it
Okay,
you
fine.
might be feeling.
I'm the only one. Yep.
But it probably took like 2 days of like it probably took like 2 hours for me to figure the whole thing out, because I would do a lap and it would be pretty quick and I'd know where I was going, but then I'd make a mistake in, let's say, one corner, and then after 14 minutes I get back and I make the same mistake because I forgot like what I was supposed to do in the next corner. Like, it was hard to stay ahead of myself. It took some time to be like, oh, right, now I'm coming into this turn, and this is what I need to do because last lap I did X, Y, and Z, and that was the hardest part. But it's actually really not that many corners when you really look at it. So many of the corners are like, it's like turn two at Road America. It's like you're not really a corner.
Well, I mean, except for those two like insanely banked hairpins, right? Where it's like two lines and then one's like on like a 50-degree like bank or something.
The bottom one is concrete, so there's no grip. So you got to like get in there and kind of like slide around the whole turn. And if you go too fast, you slide up, and then you lose like a second.
So what are you doing? Like kind of like tail whipping around the whole thing, almost like Mario Kart style?
Exactly. You need to get the sparks coming off the back wheels. So when you
Definitely.
come out of the corner, you get the boost.
Right, and that's when you let go of the red shell. Well, that you
Exactly.
don't go before, let go afterwards. Exactly. Right on.
It's
But no,
crazy.
but that's
I've
like what, like 144 turns, right? Total, right?
I think so, yeah. But I think really when you look at it, there's only like 56 or something that you
it's
actually need to
only like
think about.
56.
Well, I mean,
Only
look,
56.
like as far as I'm concerned, turn 3 should not be turn 7 or whatever they say it is.
Exactly.
I think turn 3 should be, that downhill hard braking left-hander. I mean, how many times do you really turn? I mean, okay, it shimmies left and then shanters right. I don't even know their words, but still, you know what I mean.
Okay, so I always talk about this to other drivers, but don't you feel like when you go to a racetrack, the corner numbers match the corners? Like, don't you look at a corner and you think that should be a turn 3, but that corner over there looks like a turn 10? And does anyone else feel that way?
I mean, I feel as though like every track that I like, as far as road and maybe not so much street courses because they're just so artificial to begin with that I can understand 1, 2, 3, but road like natural terrain road courses like Watkins Glen, I was like, I give up. Well, I don't know why I don't know why there's 7 turns in this one right-hander. I don't get it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's odd, but I feel like you look at certain corners and you think like that should be a turn 7, that should be a turn 9. And the place where I thought of this is I don't know if any of you guys have been to Gingerman Raceway.
That
I've heard
is,
of,
I have
I've
been
heard
to
about it.
Ginger Man because that's
Yeah.
only about an hour away from my house.
so
Oh my
it's like
God.
Michigan.
It's very
Yeah,
close to
so
my house, South Haven.
I don't know if you noticed this, Jared, but I feel like every corner at Gingerman is one number further along than it should be. I
Yeah.
feel like look at it, and turn 2 should be like a turn 1 or a turn 3 or
Yeah, you'd think all they'd have to do is just move the start finish line, like just move it back. Just give me like one little area and it'd be a lot better. But it is a very bland track, which is
I don't know
very
it is
fitting for the area.
it is definitely bland. And did they repave it? Because I remember like you wouldn't even go there because it would just destroy tires.
They did in the last few years. I feel like they were repaving it. And the other one near me is Grattan, which is I hear a lot about.
Isn't Michigan near you?
MIS is about 2.5 hours from me.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the same distance as Belle Isle from my house.
I know it.
I've never been to MIS.
Oh,
You live in
what?
Michigan. Figured you live next to near.
The only
Michigan.
cars I want to see there haven't raced there in many years.
That's the truth.
And if they were to go now, it would be the most boring race you could imagine.
There's a
Could
lot
do
of
it.
tracks where to go back to now.
We
for
could
now.
all
Yeah.
do it except for Frank, who might not fit in the fire suit and in the cockpit. But the
It's
rest
not
of us
supposed
could do it.
Fat. Is that what you're saying, Jared? I'm fat.
Well,
Is
I
that-
mean, okay, if Juan Pablo Montoya can fit in the cockpit, Frank can fit in the cockpit. We'll put it that way.
That is my gauge of whether I can get into a car or not. Can JPM get into this? Okay, I'll fit then.
Otherwise, we're
Yeah,
going to relegate him to sports cars.
This big pumpkin can get in there, so can I. He looked like a pumpkin in those final IndyCar races. I still remember him at Road America looking like a big orange pumpkin in that flyer suit.
But yeah, Greg, I do think it would be an exciting race for the fans. But it would have to be a pack race. It would almost feel like you'd have to force it into a pack race because it would just be a brick. It would be the equivalent of Talladega. There would be no
what's the
braking.
banking at?
It's 18
It
degrees.
is significant.
That's too much.
Yeah.
It is.
Well,
it's
Anything
too
above
much for
10
IndyCar.
is too much for IndyCar.
And they repaved it a handful of years ago, so the grip level is really high.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of interesting you're mentioning that because, Fontana produced great races, whether it was kart or the IRL, and the last IndyCar race there was it. And I mean, I don't think just one adjective can describe that last race there with the with the aero kits. But
Bob,
I mean,
best oval race I've ever seen in my life to this day.
yeah, it's it's up there, and even though the field was bunched together, the Auto Club has the elbow room, and Auto Club was patterned after Michigan, other than the backstretch is a little bit higher and the banking's a little bit less. But I mean, I think.
Yep, and yet Sage Karam still almost, still put Briscoe, turn him into a lawn dart in the front strip.
Actually, I remember NBC showed that race here about a month or so ago as part of their thing. They had like a speed week or whatever showing old races, and they showed that 2016 Fontana race or 15 or whatever it was. And
It's 2015,
yeah, 15. That was crazy.
It was edge of your seat every lap from beginning to end because you know why? Not like the racing was amazing, but that's because you had some really great drivers out on the track. Obviously, well, most of them anyway, except for one or two, but especially one. Anyway, moving on from my hate. But anyway, personal bias. So, but I mean, I felt as though it was exciting because it was almost to the point of insanity, It was just waiting for something bad to happen.
Right. And that's not the
like,
way to watch an IndyCar race.
It's not a very good way. It's why I can't watch MotoGP because I feel like I'm going to have an anxiety attack watching those guys race. I'm telling you.
Watch more motocross.
Did you watch the Supercross?
I've been
race
watching
last night?
Supercross, so much
oh.
Supercross.
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh.
That race was awesome.
I
It was
love
amazing.
Supercross.
It
I
was
seen.
insane. That was
I
one
mean,
of the best races I've ever seen.
I seen the one driver. He's British. I know that. I'm pretty sure it's MotoGP where
Oh yeah, a little different.
he you know he went into a turn, and then that whole where your balance gets all screwed up, and it basically bucks you off of the bike, because it starts to wiggle around. Well, he actually saved it, hung on to the darn thing, and brought it to a stop while he's hanging off the side of it, and then walked it off the side of the track. And it was the most insane save on a super bike I've ever seen in my life. It was nuts looking.
I saw Superbikes at Dubai when I raced in Dubai a few years ago. And first of all, those guys are insane. Like, I was getting ready for a practice session, and a dude walked by me, and his entire, the back of all of his like suit or leathers or whatever was just ripped right open. You could see his skin.
Oh.
And I was like, dude, but
road rash to the extreme.
Road rash in the extreme. But I mean, I feel like those guys on those bikes, they're like one with the bike. Like, I feel like I'm one with the race car when I'm out there. But when I see guys who race Supercross, when I see guys who race MotoGP, I feel like it's next level, and it looks so satisfying.
Yeah, it's just the racing looks so like making a pass, just the start, like don't like because they don't do rolling starts, right? They do like F1 style standing starts, right?
I think so.
Yeah, like turn one in F1 with the lights going out is the only exciting part of an F1 race anymore. And you normally end up with carbon fiber and everywhere, but they're in cars. But just with it being MotoGP is just even more insane to me. So, so. But I mean, just because I used to ride, and then Missy and I were on the bike, and we went down hard once, and it was crazy. Like, ever since then, I just haven't been able to watch any of that kind of racing, since that. But then again, that's a whole crazier story in and of itself. So, thank goodness Harleys are made with real steel. That's all I gotta say.
I wish I could have went and saw the MotoGP when they race at Indy. That was pretty good times.
Well, when's the last time they did that?
It was what, 3 years ago? Feel like.
Is that all?
I think it was like 3 years ago, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like almost like a natural marriage between IndyCar and Supercross, or I guess
MotoGP.
Yeah, MotoGP.
Is it MotoGP here in the States then, and Supercross is in Europe, or
No. Okay, so Frank, have you ever played a game called Excite Bike?
Of course I have. I have it right there, sir.
Okay.
It is right there. Yes.
Supercross is like Excite Bike.
How? Because I have never seen someone pulled over to the side of the road because their bike overheated because they stayed on the throttle for too long.
That's true. You got me there. But,
So going
Supercross,
on,
like motocross, like Supercross versus MotoGP is like on a road course, a regular race. Like Supercross is like on dirt and has like
It's
jumps.
in a stadium. It's on dirt. They're jumping like 40 feet in the air.
Oh, Supercross
going over the whoops and stuff like that.
You mean
motocross?
Meow.
Thank you. Yeah, motocross. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's MotoGP, and there's superbikes, right? Isn't there? Or is superbikes just a?
Superbikes and MotoGP are two separate things.
I thought so. Yeah, but
yeah.
See, like, this is how far disconnected I am from.
I feel like Superbikes and MotoGP are like, let's say, IndyCar and Formula One. Like, the differences are kind of you definitely have to know a little bit to see the difference. And then you have like Supercross, which is like rallycross.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
Okay,
like dirt
well then,
bikes versus like road bikes.
okay, so like how high of a CC can the European MotoGP? Like, would you say so? Is that super bikes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, there's MotoGP and there's Superbikes.
okay. So which one races the higher CC engines? Like how high do they go? Are they 600s or are they 929s? I mean, are they above that?
I have no clue.
No. Okay. I'm just curious about that. I mean,
Okay, so a quick little search of Google here. The major difference between MotoGP and Superbikes is that MotoGP bikes are prototypes, whereas Superbikes are they're based on production models. They're mass produced.
a prototype bike.
Yeah, like they're made and not like mass produced. Versus Superbikes will take like a motorcycle off the showroom floor and race that.
So they have more of like a BOP in that series, I guess, or no?
Something like
Would it be
that.
way or way around? I don't know. Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean,
All
yeah,
I
the
know is that
budgets are
I mean,
much higher in
I've,
MotoGP.
I've like rode a 600 before, and I feel as though that bike was a bit too small for me.
That's just a little too small for Frank.
Well, then I raced on a Honda 929, and then I was like, how fast am I going? I went 160. Let me back off, because that thing is totally insane.
But yes, also big thanks to Greg here mentioning that the U.S. has its own version of MotoGP called Moto America.
Okay.
We're proud of the U.S. Good for us.
Yes. Good old America. We
We
like
have the
our
least
America.
known motorcycle series, apparently, or according to a guy that doesn't watch it, which is me.
What tracks do they run by chance?
What over here?
Yeah, Jared.
Well, let's see here. I
Anything
mean,
like
I don't know what their season is happening this year, but they're supposed to be at Road America next weekend.
we're spending too much time on bikes. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, we're not racing Barber or
yeah,
anything.
they were supposed to be at Road America, but yeah, Moto America Super Bikes next
Which
weekend.
I still haven't made it into Barber's museum, not once yet.
You're
No
missing
way.
out there. That is a treasure.
Well, every time I'm there, I'm too busy. Like I have things to do, people to see, and you know.
Yeah.
You don't want to stay an extra day in beautiful Birmingham, Alabama?
Or you just go
Only
while you're at the track.
only when it rains immensely the day before, and I have to stay. Was that 2 years ago?
That was 3 years ago.
Was that? Oh well, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah. But Barber also has a really nice barbecue restaurant nearby it.
Oh yeah. I think I met someone there before once.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Who knows?
Well. Which, speaking of barbecue, whenever we're at the track again, I'm gonna bring I'll bring a rack of spare ribs. I'll share with all y'all.
Yes. Love
Hey,
ribs.
much better than what they. Never mind.
Add no.
Wasn't going to finish that.
Oh, all right.
I went out being on this call. I got ribs. I'm just winning out here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a diner around the corner that finally opened to takeout, and I'm like, oh, thank God, real food. If I had to eat another
Missy
anything
cooked meal. No, come on, Frank.
Are you stuck eating ramen noodles and hot pockets?
pretty much. What else am I supposed to eat around here? Everything's closed.
Fresh veggies, just not tofu.
Do you not have like a grill? You can't like cook burgers or something on a grill?
You know how lazy I am. if Missy doesn't cook it, I'm not eating it.
Yeah, it's our Frank.
No, but yeah, no, I have a grill. I have a brand new grill I got last year, and we even got like a Weber, cover for it. So this year it's like still as good. kind of learned with the last one. You should get a cover. Always get a cover for your grill, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got one of those Ninja Foodie Grills. That thing's awesome.
920. Okay. All right. So so heading back to Robert. Um, so obviously, this season. So is everything that all of your plans this season going to transfer over to next season just fine, or how's that looking?
That's the goal, right? The goal would be to run lights again next year. That's not like totally finalized yet, but we're still trying to figure it out. But I think we can put that together.
I feel like it should be, since I mean, you're ready to go this season, but nothing was able to happen. So, I mean, again, I don't know what contracts look like or anything like that, and anything crazy can happen in whatever sports it normally does, right?
Yeah.
And
You got to find, we still did some tests, right? I still did 2 days at Barber, 2 days at Homestead, a couple days at Sebring. Like there's still all of that where, there's still little bits here and there that we need to figure out. But I want to be back. I think Lights is going to be good next year.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Do you expect to see a big jump in car count with the year off?
I think so. I think you'll see a lot of guys moving up. And now there are 3 scholarship winners for next year, right? You have Kyle Kirkwood, who won Indy Pro last year. You have the winner of Indy Pro this year, and then you have the winner of FR Americas as well. So there's at least 4 cars, at least 4 cars.
Yeah, really. And then Hunter McElray and Brandon Neves are going to be fighting it out in Indy Pro 2000. One of those two, if not both, will be coming into Indy Lights next year, definitely. I think
they'll both be good. I mean, I bet Petrov will be good. At Juncos.
I mean, hopefully
there's gonna be a lot of good guys, and you're gonna see a lot of guys moving down too. You're gonna see, I think, a lot of Indy Lights guys are looking to run Indy Pro this year as well. I know Daniel Frost was testing at Ohio a couple weeks ago, and I think, who am I missing? Oh yeah, I always forget about Parker. Parker DeForest will be good.
Yeah, definitely. If Parker can just not be as unlucky as he normally is, he has a winning season every year. You just take the bad luck out of it, and almost every single season that he's raced, he would have won that season, that championship, if it wasn't for, insert this bad luck scenario here, and that's racing too, obviously. You can't cry over, pop tires, right? Or flat tires, whatever you call it. Pop sounds funnier. It's not like they pop or anything. but yeah, I mean, or if somehow Mid Ohio just completely gets wiped off of the schedule, Parker will probably be the only one going like, yes, because that's the one. For some reason, one of those races for him is just always like the one race that's just, well, if this didn't happen that way, then yeah, you would have got first. But
well, and they always do triple headers. It's a lot of, you get a lot in there, and you have just one mechanical problem like in the first race or a crash or something, and it affects the entire rest of the weekend.
Yeah. That's what it was for Parker. Was it back when it was him and
Anthony Martin?
Anthony Martin, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, him and Anthony Martin were battling out right to the end, and came down to like 2 points. I think Anthony won it by, and then and if Parker would have finished that one race where his tire went flat and he couldn't finish the race, or set him a lap or 2 laps back, I don't know what it was, but he didn't get any points for it really. I don't know if he finished the race or not. I don't think he did, but let's just say that he did it. It was still, it was still the deciding factor. So, but that's what I mean. Like I could think of almost every scenario for every other series, minus the one season when we first met him back when he was with the JBL, or no, J. Let's see, remember this,
JDC, right?
JDC, yeah, that's it. Yeah, him and where old Picnic was his engineer. Yeah, remember Picnic from JDC? it was his engineer, I think, or one of like the main engineering guys from JDC back then, like a couple years ago. They named his name was Picnic, Anthony Picnic Swift.
Yep. Oh, I remember. I know Anthony.
Yeah,
Anthony. I
yeah.
still see him. I still see him around every once in a while.
Yeah, the purple super. Yeah, they say purple super, like oh, that guy. Okay. I still don't get it with the purple super. I like supers, don't get me wrong, but the purple ones I don't get. But hey, some people love purple.
I feel like if you get a Supra, it's got to be intense. You can't get a Supra and make it. It can be.
It can be, but is it?
I
Okay.
I got you.
All right, Robert. You have a Supra. I mean, everything is just work to the work to the bees in this very clean podcast. You just got to pick the color. What color do you pick?
What color do I pick? I will say I probably wouldn't pick purple. But let me think. I mean, you could even get it yellow. It wouldn't look terrible in like a nice like bright yellow, like really annoying.
Canary yellow or like a neon yellow?
I mean, I wouldn't want it to be like yellow to the point where it's almost green. Just like a kind of like lighter than a mustard yellow, but not so bright that it's like shooting at you.
So kind of like a Pennzoil yellow.
I was thinking Pennzoil or like DHL yellow.
yeah, exactly.
There we go. All right, fair enough. I mean, I always like that like Arctic white Superman. I always just like that really nice clean white Supras. Those were always my favorites personally. But then again, you give me a Nissan and a NSX, and I want that thing metallic silver. I don't know, just my personal. I really honestly, the only car I would want that would be purple would be anything that's a Mustang, just to make it look more ridiculous.
Yeah, it'll look like
ridiculous. Might as well make it look ridiculous.
Yeah, a purple. My uncle had a purple minivan and it looked like Barney the dinosaur.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Barney the dinosaur, purple in a minivan. What did your uncle do with his spare time?
Yeah, we joked.
I don't want to know. Anyway, well, said okay. So we got 8 minutes.
No, I have to step in here. The Supra is pretty sweet, but I've heard nothing but bad things about the new Supra. Namely, if you open the windows at all, the buffeting is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it's not even really a Toyota. It's a BMW Roadster.
Yeah.
That's badged as a Toyota.
No, go figure. A bunch of companies cross promoting throughout themselves, really, because by now, 4 people own everything, almost, except for Tesla at this point. I mean, it's just like snack food. It's like, what? Why are the ads against each other? They all own each other. Doesn't matter. Anyways, Jared was talking to you about, I think you had said something earlier, Robert, about Iowa. And, I mean, I was really looking forward to seeing you guys racing at Iowa this year, because you guys were supposed to race at Iowa this year with IndyCar, right?
No, we were only at the Freedom and Gateway. So sad.
Really? Indy Lights? Really?
Yeah, we don't go to Iowa anymore.
I just don't understand it. It's not that big. I mean, and you and I both know that they could do it tappity tap, and the IL-15 and the IR-18 is just fast each other. Come on, so.
To be fair,
it
would be hard for me to find a sponsor in Iowa.
Yeah, it's kind of the middle of nowhere. travel sucks for all the teams, and it's just
Yeah, but I feel like it's almost like I think IndyCar should make sure that all the drivers can make the Iowa race, because they aren't struggling as bad as they used to, obviously, and only the richest guy in U.S. motorsports, Penske, owns everything, so I don't think it should be bad. It wouldn't kill them to make sure that you guys get because I mean the whole point of Indy Lights is getting you guys ready for that next leap, and I think Iowa is one of the best tracks for that, personally, between the chassis.
I 100% agree with that. But at the end of the day, you still got to pay for it. I just want to do more ovals. I love the ovals. I was like, let's have lights at Richmond. Like, I know that might not be the safest thing in the world, but I think it would be awesome. I think we'd learn stuff. I think it'd be fun. I think that's a great location. Like,
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
short tracks.
Yeah. Well.
It'd be closer.
Yeah. Well, I guess let me pick your brain. Would you be in favor of if Indy Lights or other rungs of MRTI would do a standalone event on an oval that's not on the IndyCar calendar, like say Memphis Motorsports Park is a carbon copy of Richmond, almost. There's also some other short track where I think you guys could run. It would be a decent show.
Would I? Yeah. I mean, I would definitely race. At the end of the day, it makes it a lot easier for me to find funding to drive if we're racing at IndyCar events. But hey, I'll race anywhere, anytime if it's a good track, right? If I'm going to learn something, if it's going to be good, fun, exciting racing, I'll be there.
Aren't you lucky that you're about to come up in the era that Sonoma doesn't exist? You're a lucky man.
I don't know. I'm not a huge Laguna fan either, to be fair.
Well, okay, Laguna and Sonoma.
It's true. You don't get too many options. Are there any other California tracks that I'm missing? Oh, we should run at Long Beach.
Lights used to run at Long Beach.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love Long
but
Beach.
So does every other. I mean, with IMSA being there, and then who else?
Yeah, the Super Drift took over your paddock. They used to have the lights patch was in the aquarium.
Lights out for Super Drift. I got a problem.
I know. I'm not the one that sets the schedule.
I know you're not, and I wasn't talking to you like you were.
But I'm pretty sure they had Super Trucks though, and Super Trucks is the greatest thing. That's what Robert needs to drive is some Super Trucks. You got to get in touch with Robbie Gordon.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd probably hook you up with one.
Because you have to admit that's the one thing that everybody wants to drive.
Yeah.
Wasn't Robbie Unser? Was it Robbie Unser?
No, Robbie Gordon.
No, there's an Unser that.
Robbie Unser.
Yeah. Robbie Unser's done Super Drift recently.
Yeah. Okay. We had him on the show. Was it 2 years ago? Which was perfect timing. It was right before I finally met Lil Al for the first time, so it was like a good icebreaker. Because thankfully, because if I didn't have that icebreaker, I would just weird guy staring at him in McDonald's.
Well, unfortunately, we do have to let Robert go. He does have other things going on tonight.
And 3 minutes before he had to go by the
I know.
I
would rather get him out a little early. He's also been on here for over an hour. It's not my fault you were late.
Yeah, so
it was New Jersey's fault.
Yeah.
No, it was that addict's fault.
It's all good. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys.
No, I mean we appreciate you coming, really, and like we said, we were gutted for you to hear when they canceled it. I don't understand why everything else is on and you guys aren't, but then again, I do kind of get it because it has been just a whole bunch of what ifs, and we're just kind of shooting from the hip, trying to make things happen. But everything works out for people who have put the time in and deserve it, and you definitely deserve exactly where you're at, brother. And I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be there next year. I expect it, and if I expect it, it happens. Because
exactly. I have Frank's blessing.
well, not only that, but if I even get an inkling that it's not, I'm charging at who I need to charge to, and we're gonna have a talk, and afterwards it'll be all settled. Everything will be cool.
Well, and
I appreciate it.
we'll have you on because I will be at a bunch of races this year, and I fully intend on doing video stuff just like this, these kind of little podcasts at the track. So we'll have to grab a driver or something and chat it up. So
Definitely. And
I'll let you know when I'm back at events for sure.
yeah.
well, where can they follow you at when you need to drop some news or whatever you want to do? Where can they follow you at and all of your good social media stuff at, Robert?
So Instagram, Twitter, at Robert Megennis. Facebook is Arcam Racing, and then I just joined TikTok today, like the good Gen Z that I am, and that's Rob Megennis. But
Nice.
I'm not super proud of that yet.
What, did somebody already take Robert Megennis on TikTok?
Someone did. I don't know who they are.
They didn't upload a TikTok dance with you in cowboy boots or anything, did they?
No, that doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, it exists, sir. And I promise you, I wouldn't put it anywhere, and I still never have.
Oh my god! All right.
I mean, I'm not saying Jared hasn't seen it. I'm just saying I haven't posted on social media.
All right, well, thanks again for
Save
coming
that.
on, Robert. We'll take care, and we'll have you on again in the future.
Definitely.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Talk to you later, Rob.
Have a good night, everyone.
You too, buddy. And it's Robert Megennis, everybody.
Yeah.
Stop by. And figures. I can't believe I was late. That annoys the crap out of me. I'm so sorry, guys. I was just stuck up in that attic. It was hot as anything. I was just trying to get done. Then all of a sudden, I look at the I look at the freaking my watch, and I'm just like, or no, I took my watch off because you don't go up in an attic with a Apple Watch on. You know what I mean? That's just stupid.
Toys in the attic, am I right, Frank? Or am I crazy? Or I am crazy, yes. Great.
Yes, you are crazy.
Yeah,
Yes.
Toys in the attic, I am crazy. Right,
Yeah.
Frank?
What songs were on? What songs were on that album?
Aerosmith sucks. I know he's talking about. He's Aerosmith. And I Am Crazy is not on Toys in the Attic. I Am Crazy is on Grip. Get a Grip. So.
Oh, the album with the cow with the ring on the udder.
Well, it used to be a ring in the udder. Now it's just a cow with an udder in this PC world. Good luck finding the Nirvana baby with his pee-pee sticking out. You won't. I mean, you could, but you won't find them new. You could find used ones.
Yeah, the vintage vinyl sounds better, and you can get it cheaper than the 180 gram.
Vintage from digitally remastered. Division Dark Side of the Moon did digitally remastered on vinyl. Now all I need is a record player.
Yeah.
Well, it was that thing. Like, I was about to buy a record player, and that at Walmart would have cost me $150 for both.
Here you go, Frank, from Greg. Look up the last song of the Wall album.
What about it? What on vinyl he means?
Yeah, he just says that's the reference, I guess.
What is?
The Toys in the Attic reference. I don't know, if you were reading chat too, you'd see all this.
Oh, my bad. Like, I didn't have the chat because I didn't have hot. I did have hot mic up, but then it just kind of went up. Anyway, but I thought you were talking about Toys in the Attic from the Aerosmith, right? Like, I know what you were talking about.
Oh, I was just reading what was in chat.
Oh. What are you talking about, Ugama Gama lover? That's Greg. Ugama Gama is his favorite Pink Floyd album. The only one I would ever say that. Because that album sucks, Greg. I don't know what you see in that early or late 60s SIG BS Pink Floyd era. I mean, at least it got Dark Side of the Moon or Wish You Were Here out, I suppose. But, ugh.
Well, he doesn't like Umagama.
It is what?
I don't know how to pronounce things.
Ugama Gama.
Oh, okay. Either way, it's been carrying on for about an hour 15 now, so.
All I'm trying to say is I got it off the Wish app for like $23. It's like $70 freaking dollars at Walmart, so I'm happy. I just need a record player so I can hear it because it's the first time they ever released that copy of
Why don't you get
Dark
that
Side.
on the Wish app?
Because they're expensive even there. And cheap on cheap on Facebook Marketplace.
And you could find, well, I mean, if you're looking on Facebook Marketplace, I mean, a vintage one, they're probably, I mean, there's so many of them out there.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to find one that has a good needle that I can test.
Yeah,
I can have them test it with their own record.
Yeah, well, the needles are somewhat interchangeable, though, right?
I don't know. I don't want. If I'm buying one, I want the needle to work. Otherwise, I'm just not going to buy it.
Yeah. Well, if you had 10 grand to shell over, you could get a laser record player.
Why would I? That's a great idea. How much?
$10,000, and I think from the last time I checked, they actually start building it when you buy it, and then you got to have it shipped from Japan.
I'm quite all right. I will find a workable turntable someplace in this fine southern part of this.
Mix you up a little beat, take it to the snake pit.
Yeah, I'll just
it up. Yeah. Frank can perform on the stage alongside Deadmau5.
The definition of an a-hole is somebody that goes ever with their 2016 remastered Dark Side of the Moon vinyl. Okay.
Yeah, that's a bad way to ruin a record.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Or a great way to ruin a record. I don't know, depending on what record it is. But I mean, so what is Greg? Did Greg answer like the last song on Dark Side of the Moon, or not Dark Side of the Moon, On the Wall is what? Is it called Toys in the Attic? Because if I remember correctly, the last song on the wall is called Beyond the Wall, isn't it? Am I wrong? I'm probably wrong. I mean, I don't know. This is racing, Greg, not music. Where did Josh go?
I'm right here.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. So, we have a race coming up this weekend. This weekend, don't we?
No, we still got a couple more weeks.
Couple weeks.
When's the next race?
Grand Prix of Indy, first weekend in July.
4th of July.
Seriously? And we're not allowed there, right?
We don't know. They haven't announced anything.
No, they've announced
no
that
fans.
The first, huh?
No fans. Media hasn't been determined yet.
Okay, I was just kind of going off of that. And besides, isn't it kind of too late? Is it too late to write in? I mean, don't we have to mail them in the request anyway? So it'd be too late anyway, wouldn't it?
No, Indy's like an online thing. Even if you go onto their website, the media credentials page is blank. It just says GMR Grand Prix, then nothing, then 104th running of the Indy 500, followed by nothing.
Yeah, it's been blank all season.
Right. So which means they don't even know.
Well, all I know is that there was, excuse me, there on the IndyCar app today, I saw that the first race fans, now they have already said that the first race fans will be allowed back to a race is Iowa.
Road America. Road America already confirmed it.
Or what is it Road America? Are
Yeah,
you
Road
sure?
America's before
'Cause-
Iowa. It goes Indy Grand Prix, then
well, it
Road
was July
America, then
17th.
Iowa.
So July 17th is Road America?
No, July 10th through 12th, and then 17th is Iowa. There's a weekend in between Indy Grand Prix and Iowa, which is occupied by Road America.
Right. And what I'm saying is what I read off of the mobile app, which I really need to renew. I need to jump. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna end in like 10 already. All right. Yeah. I was just reading. Let me find it here. Yeah, fans welcome for July 17-18 IndyCar. Oh, there
Right,
you go.
yeah. They just Iowa came out and said that they are welcoming fans for the race. But Road America's already come out, and I've already gotten multiple emails from them saying that they are expecting fans. That they're taking every precaution, whatever, but they will have fans at Road America.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Oh, so basically, Iowa was just another.
Right. I will be the second race of the season that allows fans at it. Both of the races, because it is a
Well,
doubleheader weekend.
Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, this year will be the first year we're not at Road America. So I thought Road America was this weekend coming up.
I mean, Road America has an event this weekend. They have like a club race or something.
How did I get so screwed up?
Well, it was probably this weekend on the original calendar, but now the calendar.
Actually, it was this weekend on the original calendar because the race was supposed to be Father's Day.
Oh, well, there you go. Problem solved.
The race is no longer on Father's Day. But
Yeah.
this weekend was supposed to be Road America. I
How
should
many-
be in a car
how-
right now on my way to Wisconsin.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, either way, I'm not gonna be able to make it for Road America this year.
These are the end times.
I mean, I want to make it to the Indy GP though. You know.
I do too. Both of them.
Yeah.
I want to be to both of them.
Well, yeah. There you go. If
Well, okay. I'm sorry, Josh. Just to get in there, is RTI going to be at IMS?
Not that
their...
weekend. They have their own weekend. It's actually a Wednesday and a Thursday, or a Thursday and a Friday.
Now I remember talking about this. I have such a bad memory.
I was a little saddened by that because if it's a weekday, that makes it a lot harder for me to get time off work to go see race cars. I take enough time off work for race cars. I need more time off.
We're trying to go a few races before it became possible. So, and this is just totally screwing everything up. But
Thanks,
I mean, I do like the old doubleheader with race fans at Iowa thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, a question I kind of wanted to pick y'all's brain on before I might have to drop off is that with Iowa being a doubleheader, I'm kind of wondering how, are wondering because crash damage on ovals can be heavier than on a road course. So that's where it's like, I mean, as we saw with Takuma walled it in qualifying at Texas. He didn't get to start the race. So like at Iowa, heavy. If you have a heavy enough damage at Iowa, you could be. I mean, it's going to be an overnight job to get prepared for the second race.
I have a feeling the owner of Iowa, whoever that may be, I don't know, is not going to do something stupid like leave a bunch of black crap all over the track, so the series that's on there racing at top speed doesn't just fly off into a wall if they touch it.
No, well, Iowa's never had the PJ1 applied to it.
Iowa's never had the top level of NASCAR at it.
Yeah, and the rest of Iowa's calendar, I think, with the Xfinity and trucks, I think their races got
axed. Yeah, there may not be another race weekend at Iowa this whole year.
I mean, honestly, I don't care if NASCAR races there or not. They should have plenty of time to take that stuff off of the track. or come up with a different plan, because that was BS.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably have another 10 shows of talking about how, having to alter the product in order to make another product better, but it ends up ending up hurting another property. But
Yeah, the
I mean,
better too. So yeah.
yeah. I mean, but supposedly,
But
I
it
thought
didn't it's like 16 months, or how long did he have between the application and the race last weekend? Was it 16 months? It seems a bit long, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. I'm sure
yeah,
he
you
had
have to do
plenty of
some
time.
research on that. But to my recollection, I guess thinking back is Pocono had 2 NASCAR races last year, and they applied the PJ1 there. But when IndyCar rolled around, I don't remember there being complaints about it affecting Pocono. I mean,
I think it washes off over time. It's not like a permanent thing.
That's true.
Didn't NASCAR race at Texas like a week or two before IndyCar was there? I feel like they were there.
no,
Just recently.
Oh no,
no,
that was in the
no,
spring. They were there in the spring.
no. The Texas NASCAR race in the spring hasn't happened yet.
Oh, they haven't
It
been
got
there at all?
No, they rescheduled their race for the summer because of COVID.
That's what I mean. Like, there was no reason why that stuff had to be there. He had plenty of time to take it off, or he had plenty of time to wait to put it on. One or the other. But I mean, it's not going to work well with the Firestone rubber. An IndyCar's got a problem with it. So why risk it? I don't get it. And I mean,
Yep.
for you to have to spray some crap down on a track to make your racing product that much better. I mean, how bad is it? How bad has it gotten? Has it gotten that bad where the tracks have to now start altering the surface to promote better racing from your product? Is that what I'm seeing? That's what I saw. I mean, name a track that's had to apply some solvent or something down on the track to where IndyCar could, have better races. I
Yep.
don't remember anything. Do you?
I don't know, but
I don't
it
remember that
sounds
ever
like a
happening.
good topic for another week when there's more slow
It's
news.
just something that's coming up to my head that's racing related. That's all.
It is.
Yeah, I mean
But
I mean that.
yeah, but just having Robert on, and I know you got to go, Josh. And thanks for coming on, man. And I hope Missy feels better. And that sucks. I wasn't able to be here at the beginning, but I appreciate.
Hey, you made it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, well,
It. It's just good to be able to, be able to call Josh at a moment's notice and everything, and
Yeah.
you guys be able to start. I just, remind me to get the recording off you there, Jared, because I wasn't able to start recording it
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. I'll have the like it's gonna be the whole video. So once I upload it to YouTube tomorrow, there's like a link thing where you can just download an MP3, like the audio only of a YouTube video, and then that just will strip the audio right out of it.
Right, but you should have the master recording,
Yeah,
so
but it's a video file.
that's fine. I have
It's like
video and
8
audio format.
gigabytes.
That's fine. You can Gmail it to me.
I,
Seriously, I'd rather have that. It's not a big deal. Trust
Yeah.
me. You just hit OK. It's big. It's fine. It'll take
Okay.
5 minutes.
Fiddle said.
It will. I know it will.
Okay.
I've sent larger files. Trust me. I have a larger file that I should send to both of you. The dumpster fire that was that one show at one time that I don't send to anybody. Alrighty. But yeah. Wow. Anyways. So yeah, just head over to, what does Missy say? The Indy SportsCarPodcast.com for all of our social media stuff. And Josh, where can I find you?
find me at jfarmer7710 on Twitter.
Right on. And Jared?
You can find me at JDePilot on Twitter, and yeah, here on this great show.
Right on. And you guys starting any articles up? You got anything going or coming or whatever?
So still working on that. I've got something in the works that I'll be ready to announce it when it happens next week.
Right on. Well, just let me know and remind me. I'll retweet it. And same for you, Dart. So,
Yeah, looking forward to getting ready to do some video stuff at the track.
looking forward to seeing it, man. Definitely. And since
relocating the production studio.
There you go. And and we also do stream from Podbean, or I shouldn't say stream. We whatever. Podbean is our main distribution.
Yep, you can
hub,
also find
I guess,
Spotify, iTunes,
exactly.
all your
But
favorite podcast place.
Right. What it also has is a really good mobile recorder through their app. So, and I'll have to give you the password to get into that. But the record really good quality.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'm looking forward to getting back to the track and producing a lot of content for all the fans out there.
I have like six lapel mics and a bunch of splitters, man, all ready for it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Maybe when we all join up and talk about stuff, we can maybe put the lapel mics on our lapels, guys. Or how about that? I remember that. What the heck was that? I forget what track that was. It was Barber, I think. Yeah, whatever. All right. And I don't know, Josh, do the that I know thing that Missy normally does. Take us out, Josh.
All right.
Go on now.
You know.
Come on now.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, Jared.
I guess you know that I know that Josh. I guess he knows that Frank doesn't know jack crap.
Oh, well there you go.
And you know what else? You know what else Frank is?
Piece of garbage.
Oh, jeez. More cowbell.
Yeah, I need more cowbell.
Ooh.
I love that skit.